The main goal of a financial cleanse is to reset your finances and get them back on track if you've been spending excessively. It involves analyzing your expenses and separating the necessary ones from those that are not, with the aim of growing your savings. Just like a health detox where you avoid certain foods for a period of time and only consume specific ones to rid your body of toxins, a financial detox requires you to abstain from certain spending habits and attitudes. This is particularly helpful when you want to eliminate the unhealthy aspects of your finances. To successfully carry out a financial detox, you need to critically evaluate your financial decisions and determine what is essential and what is not. However, this is not always an easy task. Breaking the cycle of overspending requires a lot of planning and willpower. Therefore, for the financial cleanse to be effective, it has to be both healthy and realistic. Do you feel terrified at the thought of not spending money for a whole week? Of course, this doesn't include the basic necessities. We're referring to those impulse purchases that you could do without. If your answer is yes, then a financial detox could be just what you need. It doesn't have to be the standard 30-day detox. You can choose the duration that is most comfortable for you. However, it's recommended that you do it for a few days at least. To begin a financial detox, you need to give your wallet some breathing space. This involves hitting the reset button on all your spending habits and being more intentional with your view of money and how you relate to it. Depending on your financial situation and the goals you hope to achieve, there are many different ways to approach this process. Some methods are simple and straightforward, while others are more extreme, depending on how much you want to save and what habits you want to break. While a financial cleanse won't make you an overnight millionaire, it can certainly be the start of a life-changing habit. And once you realize that you have the ability to make a positive change, it may inspire you to pursue long-term financial health. Before we dive into the details of why you need a financial detox, here are some guidelines on what to do to get started. The first step in starting a financial detox is to clear out the junk. This involves removing anything from your life that tempts you to spend aimlessly. The purpose of this is to shock your system and start with a clean slate so that you can move forward with a more controlled spending lifestyle. The next step is to go on a financial fast. This means setting a period of time during which you will only spend what you need and not what you want. But before you dismiss this as impossible, start small, maybe for a week or two. During this time, track your purchases and only buy the essentials. However, just because you're starting small doesn't mean you should take the process slowly. Sometimes, you need to shock your system by not spending on anything that isn't a basic need. There may be things that you consider needs but aren't, so don't let yourself off the hook. Be aggressive with the decisions you make during this time. Step 3. Ditch the credit cards and switch to cash. This step may prove challenging, especially if you're used to relying on credit cards for your everyday purchases and paying off the balance at the end of the month. However, studies have shown that we tend to spend more money when we swipe our cards than when we pay in cash, even if we end up paying the same amount in the end. By using cash, you become more aware of your spending habits and how much you're actually spending. Seeing your stack of cash dwindle down as you make purchases gives you a better perspective on your spending and encourages you to cut back on unnecessary expenses. To make this step work for you, only carry the amount of cash you need for your purchases. This way, you won't be tempted to buy any additional items that aren't on your list. By following the previous steps, you'll find yourself with more money than before. It's a good idea to put this extra cash into a savings account for your future financial security. If you haven't already set up an automatic payment system to your savings account, now is the time to do so. This way, a fixed amount of money will be transferred to your savings account every time you're paid, without you having to remember to do it manually. Even if you've already set up an automatic payment system, challenge yourself to save even more each month. When we have little to no savings and piles of debt, it can be overwhelming and leave us feeling discouraged. With mortgages, personal loans, student loans, and other accumulated debts, it's easy to feel stuck in a financial hole. The good news is that you don't have to pay off all your debts immediately, especially if you don't have the money to do so. However, you need to take control of your debts by understanding how much you owe, your monthly payments, and interest rates. It may sound simple, but many of us don't keep track of our debts. Once Once you know the details of your debts, try contacting customer service for each account to see if you can negotiate a lower interest rate. If this doesn't work, consider trying debt payoff methods such as the snowball or avalanche methods. With the snowball method, you pay off your smallest debt first and then move on to the next smallest debt until all debts are paid off. With the avalanche method, you prioritize paying off debts with the highest interest rates first. Deciding to completely stop spending money altogether might seem a bit too ambitious, but cutting off certain expenses from your life is certainly achievable. By eliminating unnecessary expenses, you'll be able to allocate your resources more efficiently and make better use of your hard-earned money. If you're considering purchasing an item on impulse, try forcing yourself to wait for a certain period of time before making a final decision. Consider waiting it out and giving yourself a chance to reassess your needs and priorities. At the end of each month, it's important to take a closer look at your spending habits. This means identifying both your biggest and smallest expenses. While it's true that large purchases can have a significant impact on your wallet, it's often the small, daily purchases that add up and really drain your funds. This will allow you to make more informed decisions about how you spend your money in the future. Before we move on, I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're finding this information helpful, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to our channel for more money-saving tips and tricks. Great, now let's get back to it. A financial detox can be highly beneficial for anyone who wants to be more intentional with their money. By taking a step back and reassessing your spending habits, you can become more conscious about what you're spending your hard-earned money on. Many times, we swipe our cards or hand over cash without stopping to ask ourselves whether we really need the item or service we're purchasing. This lack of intentionality can lead to wasteful spending and a depleted bank account. However, a financial detox requires planning and intentionality ahead of time. You can't just dive headfirst into it without a plan in place. This process forces you to stop and be intentional about what you're going to buy, which can create a habit of taking calculated steps with your money. A financial detox can help you put your spending habits into perspective and identify unnecessary budget items that are draining your accounts. It forces you to take a closer look at your budget and reassess the items that you're spending money on. It's common to accumulate items that we no longer use or have forgotten about over time. By identifying and eliminating these unnecessary budget items, you'll free up money in your budget that can be put towards more important expenses or savings goals. During a financial detox, you're forced to cut back on your spending and reassess your priorities. This process can be challenging, but it also provides an opportunity to ask yourself some hard financial questions. Many of us have the tendency to convince ourselves that we need certain items or services, even if they are not essential to our daily lives. Asking these types of questions can help you develop a more mindful and intentional approach to your spending. One of the benefits of a financial detox is that it can help you increase your savings. By spending less during the week or month, you'll have more money left over to put towards your future goals. The concept of a financial detox is similar to that of intermittent fasting, where you cut out certain meals to build up a calorie reserve. In this case, you're cutting out unnecessary expenses to build up a savings reserve. This reserve can then be used to achieve your financial goals, whether that's paying off debt, investing for the future, or simply giving yourself more financial freedom. One of the most powerful benefits of a financial cleanse is that it can help you feel less controlled by money. Many of us are trapped in a cycle of consumerism, always seeking more and more possessions and experiences to fill a perceived void. This can be exhausting, both emotionally and financially. A financial cleanse helps break this cycle by encouraging you to take a step back and reevaluate your relationship with money. By cutting out unnecessary expenses and prioritizing your financial goals, you become more sensitized to the control that money can have over your life. This can be a transformative experience, allowing you to break free from the mindset of constant consumption and find greater fulfillment in simplicity. When you realize that you don't really need all the things you buy, you begin to feel empowered to live a simpler, more fulfilling life. Thank you for watching today's video. We hope you found it informative and enjoyable. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel for more content like this. We're passionate about helping people improve their financial lives, and we're always looking for new ways to share our knowledge and insights. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please feel free to reach out to us in the comments section below. Once again, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.